Well, hello and welcome. It is time once again to try to fix something, and today on the workbench I'm looking at a PS4 Pro, and this one will turn on. I think this is simply a no video, except for the added bonus of somehow someone has broken the power button. It doesn't move, doesn't click. I turned it on by inserting a disc in there, but I have a feeling someone's had this thing apart, maybe trying to fix the HDMI port, and they didn't quite put this part back together right. So, you know, the little button part here is not actually making contact with the switch, or maybe the whole thing is missing in there. I don't know. But maybe it'll be interesting, maybe it won't. Because right now it's not looking very interesting. It's looking pretty normal, mundane. But I thought we would try to record something anyway, just in case it turns out to be some kind of total shipwreck disaster inside here. Okay, let me see what it looks like inside. Well, I'm taking the bottom cover off, trying to get the circuit board out, and I can't help but notice how dark the area is around the HDMI encoder, which should be mounted right in there on the other side of the board. Yeah, it's I think somebody has cooked this part of the board trying to change it out. I wonder if they ever actually got it off, or if it's just a burnt mess waiting for us. Let me get a few more screws out and we'll find out. Alright, I think I've got all the screws out and all the cables disconnected. It's time for our big reveal. What's it gonna look like? Oh, I see. This is one of those where there's no video, so somebody decided just to pour a lot of thermal compound on the APU because that would fix it. Alright, it does look like, yeah, somebody has tried to replace the HDMI output IC, and maybe it didn't go so well. Yeah, a lot of bare traces there, a lot of solder. Actually, I did a lot of scraping down through there. Okay, well, let's get it inside and see if we can clean this up any. Just a little bit anyway. Well, we are inside at the workbench, ready to take a look at this PS4 Pro main board under the microscope so we can see a little bit better. Or a whole lot better. So yeah, somebody definitely tried to replace this. Lots of flux everywhere, lots of extra solder everywhere. I don't see anything missing, but a lot of these solder joints are just not there. Like the, if I can get to focus, the ground joint, like right down through there, you can see is a little on the dry side. Let me see if I can tilt this. There's a storm raging outside. If you hear some noise, it's coming a thunderstorm. But yeah, somebody did a lot of scraping, and the solder mask is missing from these traces, which is, you know, it's not fatal. But I may try to, when I take this off, I think I'm going to try to clean that up and maybe put a little solder mask back on there, just to kind of keep the solder where it should be at the joints. Let's look up here somewhere. Yeah, a lot of these joints don't look too good. Some of them are okay, some of them are just dry. Let's look right, oops, let me see if I can get some focus going on here. But right in here, zoom on in. Okay, and I need some more light. I need to come back out or something. Zoom in, you really cut down the light. Look right in there. This is one of the traces. It's a differential pair going in. If I'm not mistaken, the trace is totally gone right there. There's no copper left where they've been scratching and scraping. Same thing right here. So that's probably a major reason why it did not work. They've scratched so much they've scratched through some of the traces. But those two are or just totally blown away. They've been scraped away. So yeah. Have to fix that. And zoom back out. We can see a little bit better maybe. I think that's the only ones cut, although if you look right in here, those two are almost cut entirely in half. There's not much left there. So we may have to have a jumper wire there just to be safe. But yeah. Let me zoom back. And looking at the HDMI port though, see if I can get back in focus here. Let's look at the port. Alright, the port looks fine. It looks fine. I don't think there was any attempt to change the port. Look at the other side of the board. And I think all of our diodes are still there. Diodes and resistors. As best I can remember, these are both 2K ohm resistors right here. These are 5.6 ohm Zeners. That may be a little cooked right there. 5.6. That's just a common diode here. I think this is 27 k ohms. Best I can remember. So, okay. And you can see where they cooked the board pretty good right in here. It doesn't show up in this light, but I think they probably heated it. They may have heated it from the bottom and the top. I don't know. But our first step is going to be to remove this encoder and clean up some of this damage. Well, our PS4 Pro is back together enough to test, I believe. I did take that piece of trim off here just to make sure I get this power button in the right position. I think the power button is good now. It clicks like it should. Something was just out of position. Power supply is in. I've hooked the cables back up. Yep. All right, let's see if we get any video, shall we? I cleaned up all those connections the best I could and did diode readings looking back into the port with the breakout board, and it all looked good. Nothing so far. Oh, what's that? It locked. Come on, there we go. Cannot start PS4. I guess that hard drive must have been erased. There's a hard drive in it, but you know, the previous owner probably erased it on a PC and stuck it back in there. But we have video. So yeah, white light and video and fan spinning. I think we're going to be good. Just need to reinstall the operating system. If you thought that was somewhat interesting, entertaining, educational, or anything, please give me a thumbs up. And I will see you in the very next repair. So long for now.